said that there was black businesses in the area where they grew up, where it was almost all black, was from the 1970s. You get into people I interviewed in the 80s, they said there were maybe a few black businesses that tried to open, but were shortly shut down. Get into the 90s, they said there were none. So from the 90s on, that there are very, very, very few black businesses in black communities. And moving on next from there, the incarceration rate. So the consistency throughout, and it has a lot of bearing on the community, that about half of the males were incarcerated. And that can do a lot because it pulls out the male figure in the community that will keep that community strong and up. So in that, it also ranged with my two-parent household question. It started off around the 50s, and people that I interviewed grew up in the 50s and 60s, that there was probably about 60% two-parent households. Coming down to the 70s and 80s, they say it was probably only about 40% two-parent households. Down to the late 80s and the 90s, people I interviewed,